Hi guys, Vinny from Vinny's Vibe. In this week's edition, we are going to be talking with so many people within the golf industry, from beginners to pros to people who take care of these beautiful golf courses all around the golf industry. We're going to have a really beautiful week with amazing guests speaking, all in celebration of Masters Week. This is Masters Week, and this is Vinny's Vibes. Thank you guys for joining this episode of Vinny's Vibe. This is Vinny, and we have some really special guests here today. But before I get into that, just wanted to reach out to all my bucket hat golfers out there. This is in the name of you guys. Callaway, the number 2 number golf, Titleist, the number 1 ball in golf. Anyways, I'm done with this. I'm going to go ahead and make this introduction really quick. Today we have some really special guests on the show. One, we have Brian Madalena from All Volusia Flagler Heating and Air, Dr. Peggy from Ocean Shore Aesthetics and Wellness, and I have the Tony Our Loud from Southern Hawkeye Electric. Say hello, guys.
How you doing?
Hello.
Hello.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being on the show, and I wanted to also make a plug for the Flagler County Drug Court Association's golf tournament that's going to be May 24th. Any of you guys that want to sponsor, want to be a whole guest, it's going to be a really fun time. The tee off is at 9 a.m. They have a lot of different programs, and there's going to be lunch and a really great time for business connections and everybody around the community. So love you guys for you guys to pop on. Want to thank them for sponsoring the show. And with that being said, it's Masters Week, so a lot of golf. This was all built upon the idea of talking about business connections and what that's meant to for you guys in golf, but also, what really got you guys into golf in the first place. So, Tony, tell me a little bit about when you first started golf, what that was like, and how you got so into it.
I started when I was basically a freshman in high school. Never played, never did anything, but my uncle was huge into it, and he lived in Oklahoma at the time, but was visiting, took me out. I was hooked.
Really?
And from that point on, that's pretty much all I did in my spare time.
So what is it about golf that really gets you, that really like drives you to go out each time?
Knowing that there is never just a perfect shot, and that I can always improve. You're always looking for perfection, and in golf, it's pretty hard to come by.
I'm pretty sure all of us can kind of like agree on that, right? It's like every time that you go out there and try to hit the ball, it's like there's just something that happens that you're like, okay, this is going to go in my mind right here. I'm just going to hit this part of the club. This ball's going to go straight. It's going to go onto the green. And, well, let's just say we all fall short of perfection, right? So, Brian, same question for you. For somebody that is just, again, starting out in golf, you're kind of, getting engaged with it. What got you into golf in the first place?
What got me into it was, I'm 33 now, so I'm at that age where you stop, your body starts hurting in weird areas, and
right.
Golf to me was something where I'm a competitive person. So for me, it was still something that I can go out at any age. And, really you go out and you play with buddies, but you're going out and really playing against yourself every single time. You're trying to get a better score or do something better, drive farther than you did last time, whatever the case may be. So for me, it was something fun where I found that like every single time I'm starting this new sport altogether, and every single time, you're just going out trying to do better than you did the last time, and
Right.
You can do that forever, So that's really what kind of got me hooked.
So what is it? So where's your progress right now? How's everything going?
I'm a modest high handicapper. I'm not going to throw the number out there, but I like to have fun when we're out there. So
Right.
But it's coming along. I mean,
Right.
little by little, it's going to be something that I think I'll be doing for a long time. And even on the worst days, it's better than being out working or doing something else like that.
So true. They always say they always say a day at the golf course is better than a day at
Mhm.
work any day, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Now, same question goes for you, Peggy. Tell me a little bit about how you started in golf and, where it's taken you to this point.
So I've pretty much played my whole life. When I was a little kid, my dad used to take me up to the high school. We just hit golf balls back and forth on the football field. And
Wow, on the football field, huh?
well, just from one goalpost to the other. Not that far, but no, just kept doing that. It was fun. And then you get to be a teenager and you kind of get disinterested in that stuff. And my dad's like, well, all the good-looking guys are on the golf course. I'm like, oh. So I took it back up. And
Of course.
been playing ever since. But it's for me. It's see, I don't stress like some people on the golf course. Just saying. For me, I'm outside. I'm not thinking about anything else other than how far am I from the green? What club am I going to use? And I get too serious about it, but it's just fun.
Yeah, and I think that's important, when it comes to this game, right? Like, like we stress so much about that next shot, and all three of you guys have played with me at some point. Okay, so you know exactly the way Vinny can go. You see how everyone laughs, okay, here because they know what it's like to golf with Vinny. Okay. And, to remain cool under pressure, when you're pressuring yourself for no reason whatsoever, it is supposed to be a fun game, right? Um, Tell me a little bit about like that, that moment that kind of like says, oh my gosh, wow, okay, I could have done better that shot. What happened, and what that, what that does, because Dr. Peggy, that is like really cool because you staying cool and collected does so much. And if you've ever played with Dr. Peggy, she is the most consistent golfer you will ever see in your entire life with her drives and everything, but she always keeps that same mentality. It's really cool to go golfing with you. So just want to throw that out there. But yeah, tell me a little bit about that. What it means like when you're out there in the golfing community, like networking with these kind of people, trying to learn like, hey, not only what they do, but how they are on the course. Either or, whoever wants to go first.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still pretty green to it, so I can't really say I have a whole bunch of experience with that,
Right.
But I'm at that part of my game. I don't know if you guys still go through this but everything seems like it all makes sense, and then the second you line up over the ball, everything goes blank, And so like, I'm like, all right, I'll figure this out, and so I'm going back on my backswing, and nothing's still coming to mind, and you figure it out,
Do you ever say like in the back in the part of your backswing, you're like you say yes, yes, yes before you're about to hit it, and then all of a sudden you go all the way back and you go no, 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 no. It's crazy.
Yeah.
If you think too much, it's all over.
Right.
You do all that on the range.
That's
go out
what
and
I
have
found.
fun.
Yeah.
See, my secret is see, always name your second shot. Meaning, so if Peggy doesn't hit well, I drop another ball, and second shot Sally will take the hit. That's pretty well.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I learned that from somebody years ago. Name your second shot. Just drop another one.
But never a third. But never a third or a fourth.
Not when somebody's looking. No.
Yeah.
Right. So Tony, kind of chime in on this, a little bit.
I like to relax when I play golf.
Right.
So for me, the worst thing that I do is like, I'll know when I hit a bad shot. I may drop the club on my finish. Like I might just let go. It's not like a throw. But for me to get upset out on the golf course really would throw what I'm doing out the window, because to get upset on the golf course, I'm out there with nature. I'm out there doing something that I love to do, and then to throw an attitude in with it would be just horrible, because then not only am I no fun to be around, but the people around me are thinking, what the heck am I playing? So golf is one of those things. You're either on or you're off.
Right.
And when you're on, you got to stay.
Right.
And when you're off, you're just like, you know what? Give me another beer, or just take up the time and say, you know what? It doesn't matter what I do now, because I know what I got to work on.
Right.
So it's
so staying present.
It's the same. Yeah. No matter what you do, you're still getting to the end, and you're still gonna, either you have a good score, you have a bad score, or a mediocre score. A lot of times, a mediocre score is what you're gonna have.
Right.
depending on your handicaps and different things like that. And then there's those days, man, when it's all clicking,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, wow, let's
Wow.
go,
Let's
play
do this
more.
again.
You know, and you get done with 18, and you're like, I think I could play another 18. I feel really good, But
So
then there's days it's like after 9, you're like, what am I doing? So I mean, it's kind of like in life, it's you have those days where everything's going
Mm.
and it's going right, and then you have those days when it's just like every time you turn around, this happens, that happens. So golf is kind of life if you think about it. So
And that's and that's funny because I've had a couple of conversations before this podcast, with multiple people about how, golf is so relatable to life. Tell me a little bit about Brian, Peggy. Tell me a little bit about how it relates to you in your life and what you do.
I mean, I think it's the biggest thing for me is just really like, it's just like you were saying, it's really all mental at the end of the day, right? Like,
Right.
I've noticed the same thing you guys just mentioned, which is like when you go out and you're the most relaxed and you're just no expectations or whatever it is. Generally, for me, that's when I tend to play my best, right? And
Right.
it's whenever, when I go out there with these predetermined, like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, right? And I have these high expectations and I put that much pressure that frees up.
Mm.
That's kind of when everything goes awry, right? So
Right.
for me, it's just, it continuously teaches me every single time that it's about perspective. It really is like you could blow a hole up with 8 strokes, let's say on a par 4, and then you can come right back around and birdie your next par 3, right? And so it's these extremes of back and forth and realizing like, hey, it's a long 4 hours,
Which is so
4.5
different than all the
hours.
rest of the sports, I mean, like that's,
Yeah.
That's one thing, you can have a really bad hole and then all in the same,
Yeah.
go around and birdie the next, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
So perspective, really,
It's a good community of people. Meaning, it's an instant connection when you meet another golfer. It's like, oh, you play, yeah. And for me in my career, it has definitely impacted relationships. And I give you a great example. When I was in the Navy back in the day, it was like every Friday we go golfing with the captain of the ship and the XO. And let me tell you, that bond was very strong. It helped me out
wow.
big time.
Mm-hmm.
And
What was that like? I mean, what was the whole like experience like?
well, let's just say they helped me at a time in my life where I really needed it. My
Okay.
dad was sick. I needed some time off, and just in terms of transferring, there was just a lot of stuff that came together. And
Mm-hmm.
And golf brought it kind of
because of the relationship I had with the higher ups, yeah.
That's
I'm
awesome.
not saying that they bent any rules, but anyhow, they took
Yeah.
good care of me. Let's just say that. And I do credit to golf because just like you two, you know people on a different level, and you bond. And like even now, like in my business, if I meet somebody new,
Mm.
you start small talking,
Yeah.
and then oh, play golf. Oh, what do you play? So it's an instant icebreaker.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. I mean, to go and think about it, like it's the one thing obviously you can relate to life, but also when it comes to your connections and your business connections, they say it all the time. A lot of deals are made on the golf course.
So true.
Well, tell me a little story about that. I mean, tell me about a story of how you won a deal from going on a golf course, or how you built a good relationship with that. Anyone, go on.
It's funny timing wise. I
great.
just played in a tournament. I'm on the board of an organization called BASCA, which is up
Yeah.
in Orange Park, helps individuals with intellectual and
Right.
physical disabilities. And the way I got started with that, like 20 years ago, was one of my dental patients at the time, asked me to sponsor. And I'm like,
Yeah.
of course I'm going to sponsor and get involved. So little
Yeah.
by little, next thing you know, I'd start meeting all these people in that organization, and then I'm asked to be on the board. And so this past Friday was my 19th year sponsor. It was the 20th anniversary of the golf outing,
Mm.
and it was great. It was a great celebration. Played really well, and my team won our flight, which is really
You
cool.
see.
We had
That's
like a fantastic foursome, but just I look back and like, wow, golf opened a door for me to get to know these group of individuals that have touched my life,
Mm.
and me in turn I can return the favor and do some good things for them. So
That's awesome.
I do credit golf for that, because all these years just brought us closer.
That's really cool. That's really cool. And it is cool how how golf can bring people together from all different angles, not just business but personal. It's really, it's universal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep going around.
I mean, like I said, I'm still pretty new, so I haven't had that opportunity really to go out and do anything like that,
Right.
business related. But I mean, I would tell you, even like when we had the opportunity to golf together the one time,
Yeah.
just being able to hang out and be with people and build a relationship in
Right.
a different setting, right?
Mm.
Where I was so used to seeing you guys in a professional setting,
And
right?
networking, right?
And networking, and then being able to go out and play around the golf with you guys is just something as simple as that. Really kind of helps solidify a relationship that, again, just it's easy because you're there and you're discussing things, but you're focused on something completely different. So
Mm.
it's easy to kind of get into the flow of conversation, not only professionally but with personal aspects, and get to know somebody in that way. Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, I completely agree with you on that. It definitely create those great adhesive bond relationships. Tony, you want to piggyback off of that?
I don't know. I mean, that's how got to know Vinny a lot better. I mean, for me, and then
Thanks, man.
also I was able to from that reach other people in BNI groups and different stuff like that. But it helped me just kind of relax.
Yeah.
And then
Because you're
people
from
got to know
Iowa. I
who,
mean, you're relatively, new
yeah,
to the
8
area.
years.
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
starting a company and stuff like that, it helps. But it also, you can kind of see how other people react on the golf course. So you can kind of see how they're going to be in business, how they're going to be personally. So your character is, I think, in golf is carried out in your life.
Mm.
You can get a better judgment of people.
Mm.
And I don't say this in a bad way, but I think if you see someone on the golf course, most of the time their ethics are are with that as well.
Mm-hmm.
They're not, you know, everybody would love to be, be a pencil whipper on the scorecard and win every tournament. But if you ever go to a tournament and you get pencil whipped, you know what it feels like. So you look at those people and you go, the tournament was actually a fundraiser. So if you had to do that in order to win it, what do you do in life?
Mm.
So
Right.
there's a lot of things you can take from life, but on the golf course you can kind of take and put them into life.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it's really cool to think about like how, like we always see people from a professional environment, right? Like we always see them in networking groups and how they're, calm, cool, and relaxed, and then you take them out and you say, okay, well, this would be a cool guy to go out on a golf course with, and then you get the opportunity to see what they're like under pressure in different scenarios and whether or not they remain cool or calm or collected.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm really helping my case. I don't think so, but but nonetheless, it is really cool to kind of see like how that dynamic works. And like we look at the pros every single day, and they're surrounded by thousands of people, and they still remain cool and calm and collected for the most part under pressure. And
until they hit the sprinkler head.
until they hit the sprinkler head. Exactly. So, all right. So at this point in time, we're going to take a really quick break from the podcast for the Flagler County Drug Court Foundation and their golf tournament. Again, we'd love you guys to join on. We're going to hear from them back, and we'll be with you in just one moment. Thanks, guys.
Hey everybody, Mike Feldbauer from the Flagler County Drug Court Foundation inviting you to our third annual golf tournament on May 24th at Palm Harbor Golf Club. This is our one of our annual fundraisers. Help us help those in the community in recovery. Have a great day, good food by Loopers, some great gifts, some contests out there on the course. Come join us. For information, call me at 401-864-6997. or email me at mfeldbauer, FELDBAUER, @gmail.com. Have a great day.
Welcome back, guys. So I wanted to give a little bit of time because our awesome guests here also run a business. I want to give you guys a really quick 15 seconds, just a quick plug of exactly what you guys do, how you guys help in the community. So Dr. Peggy, we'll start with you.
Okay, well, this is my post-retirement career. I was a dentist for 35 years, retired from dentistry, and I own Ocean Shore Aesthetics and Wellness, and I do medical grade, non-surgical facial aesthetics, meaning try to turn back the clock in terms of what we see in the mirror. And also on the therapeutic side, I also still help people with headaches, migraines, TMJ issues, and also overall help with increasing your circulation with beamer therapy.
Wow. Okay. It's a really cool career, and if you guys have any issues with those kind of things, definitely reach out to Dr. Peggy. Next up, we got Mr. Brian from All Volusia Flagler Heating and Air.
Yeah, so for those that don't know me, my name is Brian Madalena. I am part of All Volusia and Flagler Heating and Air. We're a family-owned heating and air conditioning business based out of Daytona Beach. I'm local to Flagler County, and the family's local to Flagler County, but we service both counties. So Daytona tends to be the hub for all our supply houses and the center point for our service area. So, but we do everything air conditioning related. So service, maintenance, new system, consultations and installations, some attic insulation, duct cleaning. So you name it, we can pretty much take a look and see if we can help you out with it.
Sweet deal. And Tony, last but not least.
Yep, I'm Tony. I'm Arlo. Southern Hawkeye Construction Services, mainly electrical. But we service all of Flagler, Volusia, St. Augustine. And if you need help with anything, just let us know.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for the improv pitch. You do very well at that. So I'm gonna kind of back it back up a little bit onto the golf scene. So it's no stranger. It's Masters Week.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit about your experience, like watching the Masters, or if you've gone to the Masters. Not sure if any of you guys have, but tell me a little bit about your experience watching the Masters. What's meant like for you and your families, like what that has done for you guys.
Well, I know it was always on in my house growing up, so this year should be interesting. I'm going to follow Fred Couples. It's his 40th year.
Oh my gosh,
He's
yeah,
65 years
crazy.
old, and yeah, I'm rooting for him.
Mr. Fred Couples, man.
Best looking swing in golf.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's what we all can agree on. That's for sure.
Give us 60+ year people some inspiration.
It's always cool to see that, right? Like in the Masters, like when they have these like people that just come out of nowhere. That I mean, not really come out of nowhere, but it's the one time a year where anybody that's won the Masters can go out and play with these pros. It's so cool to see.
Yeah.
So Brian, tell me a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, again, I growing up, golf wasn't really something in our household. My parents didn't play growing up or anything like that. So I kind of got into the past couple of years just watching it, and I love sports in general. So for me, it's been really interesting to really the Masters out of, I guess, all tournaments, the amount of legacy and tradition that that comes with the territory of the Masters,
right?
And just seeing like there's so many short documentaries on YouTube with like how precise they are with all the little details of what goes into the Masters tournament. That to me really was like captivating. Like that's crazy just to see like how much attention to detail that they really put into it. So it's definitely something that for the foreseeable future, I that's going to be on every single year at my house.
It's really good. So actually backing up a little bit, because you are just starting golf, what has that meant for you to watch this on television for your game, moving forward?
I mean, it's been cool because all of it's a learning moment, right? Like I'm soaking everything in like a sponge. At the same time with context, because you can't relate to anything these guys are doing out there,
Yeah.
But it's just so cool. It's so interesting, and being able to follow a lot of these guys' storylines. I really kind of got into it. Probably like I think the first year that Scotty won his Masters tournament was really when that really kind of caught my attention.
He just went away with it. That was like dominance.
Like just seeing some of his storylines and seeing how he's kind of grown into the golfer he is. Following Rory's storyline and just him chasing another another major
Mhm.
championship, right?
Mm.
Which looks quite like this might be the year. Knock on wood,
We're
we'll
all
see.
knocking on wood, I
Yeah.
think, this year for this guy. I'm telling you.
But yeah, it's been cool. I mean,
Yeah.
just in general, but really, really cool to see all the different storylines. So
Awesome. And then what about you, Tony?
I would have to say I didn't start really watching golf
Hmm.
until probably like 5 or 6 years ago. Now, does that mean that I didn't watch the Masters at the end? Yeah, but the whole green jacket thing
Mm.
is great, and that's for me is kind of watching the past champion hand it down and that kind of thing. But to watch these guys on a course like that is so manicured, that is so perfect,
Mm.
and then like when you see it on TV, it's phenomenal. And I've never been there, so I can't say that it's that phenomenal, but I'm sure that it is because they're like right down to the pine straw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be this way. So
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, I'll be watching it. I've been for the last 5 years, just always watching it.
And how long have you played golf? I mean, that's interesting.
Let's see. I am okay. So
Oh, jeez, I did it.
what are we at? 40 years.
40 years. Wow. Okay.
Well, I guess it'd be closer to 35. I guess 35. Yeah.
Now, if you've ever played with Tony, he's a pretty good golfer. So I'm feeling like that's the secret, right? Just don't, if you want to turn on golf, maybe turn on the Masters, but just go out there and play your game,
Yeah.
right?
I would tell people that
He's good.
quit trying to copy somebody else's swing. Quit trying to make yourself feel like you're doing what they're doing, because we're all different. We're all made up different. We all do things differently.
Right.
So be yourself. Yes, there are things that you can learn from a swing, but that you may not be able to do that. So make it your own. Have fun with it, because the more you try to make it like somebody else's, the more frustrated you're going to get. So make it simple.
Advice.
Yeah, and that's actually one thing I kind of learned a little bit in my swing, right? Like I heard one of the broadcasters on the Open say what he's trying to do is he's trying to hit the bottom layer of the club, so this way he generates the loft. And I didn't even know that was like how you were supposed to hit the ball, to begin with, to generate the loft. So ever since then, like, I don't know, for me personally, that made a big impact in my game. But I did not, for the longest time, I'm sure all of us can agree, we've all tried to emulate somebody else's swing. Now, all right, I'm going to throw it on you guys. I'm sure all of us have emulated a swing at least once. Which swing did you try to do at least once or twice in your lifetime?
I mean, I don't know if again, coming from somebody super new here, I'm still just figuring everything out.
Right.
So I've learned pretty quickly looking at my own recordings that my swing looks nothing like anything I've ever seen. So
Right.
I don't know if I've really tried to emulate something, but yeah, I don't know.
Okay. It's fair. For me, it was Scotty Scheffler. I tried doing that. That's like,
That's
dude,
unique.
yeah. I tried to do that leg kick. It worked for a little bit, but after a while, it kind of just subsided. Anyways, so we're wrapping up a little bit. So I wanted to kind of really get your input, really, with this week and where the Masters is going to be. There's going to be so many different twists and turns, and people are going to be, we're probably going to have a big surprise with possibly who might win. Maybe we won't have a surprise at all. But give me your pick as to who will win the Masters and why.
Anybody?
Let's go first.
I mean,
Yeah, guys.
I'm gonna stick with Scotty. I think.
Scotty,
I
huh?
mean, he's
three-peat.
Yeah, I mean, he's. I know he's not as hot as he was,
Right.
but he's still playing good golf, and he just seems to know how to play that course. And I think between him, Rory, I think Colin will have a good tournament. I'm gonna go with Scotty for my pick.
Okay. All right. Scotty, the wise pick. Mr. Taylor made himself.
Yeah.
All right. Dr. Peggy.
As much as I'd love to see Fred come back.
Come on now.
40 years of experience playing that course.
Bring it on, Freddie.
It'll just be fun to watch. But I think Rory. I
Okay.
think he's come back. You know, a little hiccup in his personal life, and I think that's behind. You know, I follow that stuff too.
Yeah.
And I think he's gonna
He's playing
show
pretty
us
hot.
a run. Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say about his iron play, though? Because I know that's always been in question the last few years.
Every year could be different. You know,
Every year can be different.
Mhm.
He did really good when it came to the players
Yeah.
with that. So I got
Yeah.
Rory, I got Scotty. What do I got for the guy that's been playing golf basically his whole life? You tell me.
I
think?
really think that Justin Thomas is going to
I
come
like
out of
that.
nowhere.
JT, I love that pick.
I just he played really well even though he lost to Victor Hovland.
Mm.
He's
Yeah.
been coming up lately. So I think his head's in the right place right now.
Mm.
So like we've said, it's just as much a mental game as it
Yeah.
is a physical game. And I think the last couple of years he's had a lot of stuff going on that people don't know about. And I think he's kind of got some of those things figured out.
Right.
And it's a hope of mine. I'd like to see the guy win.
Mm.
I'd like
Yeah.
to get him. I'd like to get him in another major. But my other pick would be Xander Schauffele. I think that guy he's a pretty.
He's
Pretty
about to
cool
break
guy.
back. And he's about to break back too, because this year has been very interesting with him trying to get back from injuries and
Mhm.
getting back into the game. That's a sleeper pick, I think, for sure.
Yeah. But I
it-
think JT's. I think he'll. We'll know first day.
That's-
He's easy to root for.
Yeah.
You know, he's so likable.
Yeah, and on top of that, I always say I came up with this adage after I watched the second round of the Players when he tied the course record this year.
Yeah.
After he was like in dead last the day before and
Mhm.
somehow not only didn't just make the cut, but he
Mhm.
also found a way to get himself in contention.
Yeah.
In contention. What I say to that is, what would JT do? What would JT do? What would JT do? Oh man. Well, I also like to play this little game. So before I do this, I always with these little golf things. So I'm gonna give one brand of golf ball, and with that brand of golf ball, I would like you to give me one player that you think of when you think of this golf ball. Okay. I'm gonna start with one. I'm gonna show it to the audience, and I'm gonna relay it right to Brian.
Okay.
He'll be first, and then we're gonna go counterclockwise with it. I guess we'll do that. All right. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay.
This is a quick thing.
This is a quick thing. We're
Okay.
ready to do this. Rapid fire.
Callaway. The first person I thought of Callaway was Xander Schauffele.
Okay. So Xander Schauffele.
Mhm.
Xander Schauffele. That's a good one. All right. Dr. Peggy. Oh, by the way, you can't say Xander Schauffele.
Me, I like Holloway's.
That's a great one. That's-
Dr.
there you
Peggy
go.
with the Callaway. All right. Tony.
And Callaway again. So John Rahm.
John Rahm.
Nice.
John Rahm. Man, an LIV guy. I love this. All right. Sweet deal.
Okay.
Sweet deal. Okay. Okay. All right. Next up, I'm going Tony.
Oh, how do you say his name? Kim. Oh God.
Bin Young Kim?
Yes.
Bin Young Kim, yeah. By the way, I have a Sirixon in my hand. I didn't put the camera out for it, but it is a Sirixon.
Ooh. These are the irons I have. I could be way off here. Is that what Bradley Keegan plays with, his Strixon irons?
Interesting. I'll have to do a
I'm not
nice little
quite
internet
sure.
check. Brandon Keegan. I haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's that one was out of the blue. I was
I'll
that
look
was
that
that
up.
was a good one.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
All right, Dr. Peggy. Hopefully research.
That's our sixth one.
Yeah.
I honestly have no idea.
All right, I'm gonna give you guys a nice
Easy
little
one.
plug. Shane Lowry. Shane Lowry, Hideki Matsuyama. Okay, I'm going to the next ball.
You just researched it.
All right. So, what was the verdict?
Oh, I didn't look. I just stopped
Okay.
looking.
Okay. All right. That'll be to continued. Okay. All right. So this one is the next one here. And I'm going to go to Peggy.
Titleist. I actually think of Tiger because it is, I think, rated the #1 ball. I know he's a Nike guy,
Uh-huh.
but for some reason Tiger comes
Tiger.
to mind.
Tiger Titleist. Tiger Titleist. Okay. Okay, Brian.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Does Justin Thomas golf with Titleist?
That would be a good
Yeah?
one. That would be a good one.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. And so JT, man. All right. You're up, Tony.
Freddie Couples.
Freddie
Everybody.
Couples.
He always plays, and he plays at the Masters with the yellow ball.
You see, and
Pro V.
Pro V yellow ball. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh yeah, the senior tour. That's right. Okay. All right. So I got time for 2 more here. Okay. So first off, we're gonna do this guy,
My guy, Mr. Scheffler.
Mr. Scheffler. That's a TaylorMade, folks.
I'm gonna go with Phil Mickelson.
So, man, we're mixing the LIV with the PGA. I love this stuff. All right.
Just because it's the TaylorMade, I got no ideas.
You got no ideas.
I'm a Titleist man.
Oh, dude. Okay. All right. All right. That would have been a Colin Morikawa answer, actually. Believe it or
Yes,
not.
Nelly
you are
Korda?
correct.
Yes, I watch too much of this stuff. It's not good.
Yeah.
All right, so last one, just for laughs and giggles, you can judge whichever one you would like. I'm gonna give this to the audience. This one on the left is a Bridgestone. The one on the right is probably my ball. So who would like to go first? Anybody?
I'm at a loss. I have no clue.
I'll tell you.
Bridgestone.
Tiger Woods played Bridgestones.
Oh.
Tiger
Ooh.
Woods. Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods. That's a good one. All right, come on. You guys can pick one. Just one.
I don't know. I've got no clue who plays Bridgestone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's Tiger Woods. Trying to think who else. Well, we'll leave you on a cliffhanger. Put it in the comments section.
Check back in next year.
We'll check back in next year during next year's Masters. Actually, all right. So I want to ask, what number do you think the low round is going to be of the Masters tournament? If you were going to put one round for the lowest round, what would it be?
I don't
It's
know.
a thinker.
68?
68. Okay. Well, yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I don't know.
I'm gonna be really optimistic and say like 63.
63. It could happen. It could happen. It could happen. It's an iron course. I mean,
I'm gonna
What's the
go
course
with-
record?
what was
I'm
it?
gonna
I don't even know what the course record is. What's the course
Oh,
record?
geez. But yeah. Well, that's another research. Put in the comments
There you
section.
I'm gonna say 64, just like Ashton did yesterday. I think it's doable.
64. 64 is doable. We got 64. We have 68. We have 62. 63. 63. Well, guys, we are just wrapping up another episode of the Masters. Anything more you want to add when it comes to golf that is, either change your life, thinking about, what we can leave our listeners to going forward?
Get out there, have fun, hit 'em
Yeah.
straight.
Yeah, 4 hours of bad golf is still better than a whole bunch of other things. So.
Anything, Tony?
I just say enjoy it.
Yep. Yeah. If you ever get the chance to get out and golf, get out and golf. If you've taken a long time without playing golf, just go out there, hit the range a couple of times, and then get out there and play. Don't sit there on the range. Get out there and play. You won't be disappointed, or maybe you will, but then you'll find your next shot and be more accepting. So, all right. So there's another episode of Vinny's Vibes Masters Edition. I want to thank all of our guests. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Dr. Peggy. And thank you so much, Tony, for coming on. This is Vinny's Vibe, telling you to dive into your vibe. We'll see you next time.